and tag you under it. But hold on, sorry. I keep seeing things pop up. Um, but so you can, it's the 333 method, right? So for 3 days, you'll do this. You'll take those names. Let's say you take 10 names. These can be people that you're following. This can be people that you're that are commenting on your stuff that you're posting. They can be commenting, they can just like it, heart it, whatever. And you'll go and show them some love on their posts. So day one, you'll find heart 3 of their posts, heart and comment on 3 of their stories. Day two, you'll heart 3 of their posts, comment 3 of their stories. Day three, you'll do the same thing. And then day three, you go into their inbox and say, I have been stalking your page for the last 3 days. I love the positivity that you show. I love how inspirational you are. I love whatever it is that you love about what they're doing on their page, but be authentic about it. And then say, I would be kicking myself if I didn't share with you how I'm able to dot, 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 whatever it is that you're getting out of this, or whatever you pick up from their page. If there's somebody that is already traveling, if you pick up that there's somebody that might need to make some extra money, if you pick up that there's somebody that might need extra time, whatever it is that you've picked up, I'd be kicking myself if if I didn't share with you what I'm doing to da da da. Would you be open to checking out what I'm doing? After that, on that third day, you just ripping the band-aid off. Because here's the thing, if you don't ask them, these people that you're not asking, if you don't, like, imagine that you have a yes column and a no column. If you don't ask them, they're in the no column, right? I want this to be interactive. Talk to me. Nod something. Thank you. Thank you, Marjorie. I appreciate it. So if you don't ask them, you've already put them in the no column, right? If you ask them and they say, and clearly you're okay with them being a no, because you're leaving them over there in the no column. You're okay with it. You don't mind. It's all right to you. If you ask them and they say no, then now they're officially in the no column and you still should be okay. You're okay with them being a no anyway. What do you care? Right?
Mhm.
Now it's just official. So my point is, don't build rapport forever, but you want to reach out. And so a lot of it can be done with social media folks because you might be able to reach more people. But if you have people on your list that you haven't called, then I would call them as well. And so now, what is the role play you wanted to do, Janae? I just want to make sure that I'm talking about what you want me to talk about.
So like, so that was great going over the 333. So the next step is like, that's for on like social media. So like now transitioning to phone calls, like people you got the numbers to like
Mm-hmm.
do exactly what you would do on the 333 method, but on the telephone, having conversations.
Okay.
A lot of the times, like we're going through the exercise of going through the phone from A through Z and doing that
Mm-hmm.
reconnection to the people like we hadn't talked to for a long time. So reconnecting with them, but using that 333 method to be how to bridge that and not be stuck in the building rapport stage for a
Yeah.
while.
So even people that I hadn't, I invited them out to meeting in Boston. I invited them to get on my launch call. I'm launching a business. So think of it this way. If you were opening a clothing store or you're opening a restaurant, see, I think people see it like you look at it differently because it's network marketing, perhaps. If you are opening a restaurant and you were having a grand opening, would you care that this is somebody that you haven't talked to in 10 years? You wouldn't care. You would call them and you would proudly say, you've opened this restaurant in their city and you're having a grand opening and you would love for them to come. Is there anyone who feels like in that scenario that I just gave with the grand opening of the restaurant, is there anyone that feels like even in that scenario, I would be hesitant to call someone that I haven't talked to in a while? Most people don't have the cameras on, so I can't tell if you're shaking your heads.
No,
I can
not
see you,
really.
Marjorie.
No,
What'd you
not
say,
really.
Marjorie?
You
No,
said
you
no,
like
not really.
even if you hadn't talked to them in a while, you'd feel okay with calling them because you're opening a restaurant, you're opening a clothing store, you're opening whatever it is. I want you to look at this as not being any different. If you're launching or relaunching, it's a business that you're launching. And I also want you to look at this like not everyone is going to be your business partner. So you're not everyone that you're calling, like you're calling to tell them that you have a business. Some may want to partner with you, some may want to be a customer, but either way, isn't it both great? Don't you want both? If they don't want to be a business partner, but they're going to Greece and want you to book their trip, is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So it doesn't matter if they and especially if you haven't talked to them in a while, that means they have no idea. This isn't a relaunch for them. This is your launch. So they didn't even know. So who am I role playing with? Who's the first person up?
Who ready to
I
role
have a
play?
question.
Uh-oh.
Yes, yes.
So going back to your scenario with the restaurant. Uh-oh.
Yes. Are
My
you able to turn your camera on? I don't know why. I just feel weird talking to somebody that I can't see.
Okay, give me a minute because I'm at my house. Hold on. Where is it? Okay. Just a second.
No problem.
Ooh. I had put my second hat on. Okay, so okay. There? Okay. So so my question is going back to your scenario with the restaurant. So
Mm.
and I can understand the Greece scenario, but like when it comes, which they pretty much are the same. Um, but I guess in a way that what keeps me sometimes hesitant on certain things is that if you haven't talked to somebody in a while and like you let them know that you opened up a restaurant, that would seem to be easier because you're not necessarily, I want to say, asking them to join the business with you. You're asking them just to come and check out the restaurant, have a bite to eat, and then that's it. And then it's almost
Mhm.
like after that, the the relationship or conversation, it's almost like that's like the end of it. Versus when you're trying to get them to see the
Not well,
benefit of the
so not
business.
really, right? Because you want them to keep coming to the restaurant. You don't want them to come one
Correct.
time. You want them to
Correct.
keep coming. Mm-hmm.
Right, right. But once you invite them to the restaurant and they come, then their experience with the food is what's going to keep them coming back, or
Mm-hmm.
and or them knowing you. However, when it comes to to this opportunity, um, sometimes it takes more than one exposure. So then it's almost like you're I won't say constantly uh uh exposing them to it, but it's more of okay, now today I introduced them to the business. Okay, give them a couple of days. Okay, then I am doing it again, asking them questions. Okay, then couple days go by, then I'm asking them again. Whereas the restaurant, it's like a one-time thing.
So
So it's
let me
almost like
stop you.
you're.
Let me stop you there. So two things. One, even with this, I'm never asking someone to join my team.
Mhm.
Ever. Ever. I've never said to anyone, join my team in 8.5 years. Not one time. Right? I
Mhm.
expose it. People make that decision for themselves.
Mhm.
They see an opportunity and they make that decision for themselves. I'm exposing what I'm doing. If they just wanted to become a customer, that would be fine too. Right? So I'm never saying join my team. And I'm also not, if I'm following up, it's because they said they wanted me to follow up. Right? I'm not just arbitrarily reaching out to them every couple of days like some bugaboo. Right? Like there's a reason that I'm following up. It's either because they said this sounds really good. I don't have the money yet, but I want to do it. Okay, I'm going to follow up. Or I need to talk to my husband or my wife, and then I'll be able to let you know. So then I'll be able to follow up. Or I want to think about it. There's some reason I followed up,
Okay, so
not
did you
just
say
because
that
of hounding them.
earlier? Because
Say that
maybe I
again.
missed that part. I said,
Did I say?
I said, did you explain that part earlier? Because maybe I missed that because I was
Oh, I didn't
not
even
saying.
mention follow up. I was only I only talked about the initial phone call. We hadn't talked about following up. You brought up follow up, so I'm saying this to you now. But
Okay.
we were talking about and what I was talking about was the initial, reaching out to the person to invite them to check out something. Now, am I going to follow up with them? If they give me a reason to follow up, absolutely. Because normally, right, like I'll ask the person, what do they like best? Or people will tell me something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like usually you get something, like I said, right? Like they are interested, but they don't have the money. They got to wait till they get paid, or they got to talk to their spouse, or they have to, or or maybe it's this sounds really good, but I don't know if I can do it. I'm not sure if like I don't have, or maybe there's some type of objection that's like I don't know that many people, or none of those things are no, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm following up or helping them through that, but I'm not just arbitrarily like every 2 days just following up like, you ready to join my team? Ready to join my team? Ready to join my team? Not doing that.
Right. I mean, it's not necessarily like you asking them to join your team. It's almost like they're like maybe it's like a subconscious thing, that like you're doing. It's like, wanting them to be a part of the business, but not necessarily asking them, to join the team. It's just showing them the opportunity. So I mean, that part I understand. But I was just saying is
I'm
that
asking
like.
you to do whatever. Like for instance, Arian Ragster, who's now 2-star director, she'll be 3 soon. When she reached out to me, she saw me. I posted something on social media. She reached out to me, and for me to book some travel for her, and I gave her the choice. I said I'd be more than happy to book your trip and keep the commission. Or I can show you how to book that same trip. She actually was her honeymoon. Or I can show you how to book your honeymoon yourself and you keep the commission. She opted for the latter. I gave her a choice. I didn't reach out to her like, hey, join my, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'd be more than happy to book your travel. I never care, right? Like I have no emotion. I never care. I want people to do what's in the best interest of themselves, right? So if it's in your best interest to be a customer and I help you book your travel, perfect. If it's in your best interest to travel as an insider and partner with me, perfect. I don't care. I want people to do what's best for them. So I never go into it, even with the thought of join my team, you know what I'm saying? Like I go into it like I'm going to expose you. You have, and there are a couple of options that you have here. Become an insider, um, become a customer. Like, does that make sense?
I would like Marquita would like give an like role play with Lynn on what that looks like. You know, like what you're saying, Marquita, like role play what that is.
What Marquita's saying, role play, what that is you're saying?
Right.
Not sure what you mean.
So like you're saying that when you're talking to individuals, you've already talked to them, and what happens when you have to follow up? They don't get it on the first exposure. So this might be the second or the third exposure for them. Like, what does that look like when you've already exposed somebody? How many times, Marquita? Like, do you have like an example?
No, so my comment wasn't based upon a what to do after the exposure. She
Mm.
was saying is that when you talk to somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time, and if you're at a restaurant, how hard would it be for you to invite them to your restaurant
Right.
versus you inviting them to see the opportunity? So that's what I was referring to. So as far as like the number of times to do the exposure, the follow-up, um, that necessarily wasn't the comment or the question. It was more so when you're, well, what I said previously, because I kind of feel like that we were taught or we've been taught to kind of build rapport a little bit, especially with somebody that we haven't talked to in a long time, versus just coming out the block and then showing them the opportunity. First build rapport and then do that.
So let me give you an example. I grew up in Boston, born and raised. I haven't lived in Boston in 25 years. So when I joined Planet in 2016, that's what? How many years ago was that? 8 years ago, right? Okay. So that means that is I moved so I haven't lived there or at the time that I joined Planet, it was like 17 years, right? A lot of the people that are in Boston, I have some family, but like I probably have two people that still live there that I would consider friends that I talk to regularly. Outside of that, most of, I was young when I moved here. So when I decided that I wanted to invite people to an event, I wanted to expose it to people that I knew. I'm going to fast forward. I had 33 people at the opportunity meeting. 33. 9 of them signed up that night. At least 3 or 4 later that week. And still over the last, sprinkled a few more here and there, right? My point is, those 33, of the 33 that came, I think 3 of them are people that I had regular contact with. The other 30, I just called them up.
Mm-hmm.
Had not talked to them in years. But now, so here's the other thing. I'm not saying, like, if it's someone that's in your phone and if you call them and you have to explain who you are, because I have some of those people in my phone too, right? Like they've just been in my phone forever. And if I called them, they'd be like, Lynn, that if I have be like, remember that you at, remember that? Like I'm not doing that. I'm talking about somebody who, if I call them, we may not have talked for a while, but they immediately know who Lynn Hendricks is when we get on the line, right? Those people, as soon as I said I'm going to be there, I launched a business and I would love to invite you out to my launch. Can I count on you to show up? Now, mind you, I called probably like 150 people. 33 showed up.
Mhm.
Then I actually had a call. This is before we were really doing Zoom, right? Back in 2016. And I had over 55 people that dialed into a phone call. I didn't have 55 people that I talk to on a regular basis that I'm, you know what I'm saying, that I'm close to and I talk to regularly. Many of them were people that I hadn't talked to in years. And they're not the same people that came to Boston. So when I say this stuff, like I'm saying it to you from experience, not from like, like I think this is kind of how it could work. I'm telling you that those people, one, they were I mean, if we had a decent relationship when I knew them or when I was talking to them, if we had a decent relationship, then one, they were happy to hear from me, excited for me. And if they were available, they were more than happy to jump on something to hear about my business. But here's the other piece of it. Either they are or they're not. Again, if you don't call them, and so this is how I feel about what you just said, that whole building rapport thing. If somebody calls me up that I haven't talked to in years, your main goal in calling them is to ultimately tell them about your business. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So if you call me and we do all this catching up, and then you wait a few days and you call me again, and we talk again, and then you call me again and we talk again, and you keep doing all of this, and then you come out and tell me about your business, I think you're disingenuous. You knew you wanted to tell me about your business the first time you called. Why didn't you? That's what I'm going to think. Right? I'm going to think you're being disingenuous. People like it when you're honest. I haven't talked to you in years. You didn't call just to see how my family was. You may care. I'm not saying you don't care about that, but you didn't call just for that. You want to be honest and upfront. And so when I call the person, I'm saying, hey, I know we haven't talked in a long time. And I'm going to tell them, I definitely want to catch up with you. And I do. I'm not doing it right then because right now I'm blitzing. I'm calling a bunch of people. So I'm going to tell them that too. Like, I definitely want to catch up with you. I'm about to run into a meeting, so I don't have long time. I don't have long to talk. Excuse me. But I just had to call you because I launched a new business that I'm super excited about, and I'm having a launch party on XYZ date.
Mm-hmm.
Can I count on you to attend my launch? And typically they're like, oh, wow, that's exciting.
Role play that.
Well, that's how I started. Who's gonna role play with me?
Marquita.
Was that a yes? Was that a no?
I mean, it's like I really ain't got no choice.
Did you say you don't have a choice?
Mm-mm.
You want away from gold. Nope, let's go.
Okay. All right. So I'm calling you Marquita. You and I haven't talked in a while. We've been friends for a while, but
Mhm.
just, haven't talked, and it could be years since we've talked. But there's no love lost. Anytime we do talk, it's like, we just kind of fall right back into a conversation or whatever, right? Or if I see you out somewhere, it's like, hey, girl, right? It's like that sort of thing. We recognize each other. We'll say hi, hello, whatever. But when we're just not the type that we keep up with each other, right?
But that's the relationship that you have with that person. So I'm just saying, it's like for me, I got classmates um that I haven't talked to in years.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say that we're on that level as far as that if we talk that it's like that we never missed a beat. It's almost it's you can tell almost like, okay, well, what you calling me for? Or like, girl, I haven't
Right.
seen you in a long time. Like,
That's why I said you have to be honest. Because if you're not, then you fall right into that. What are you calling me for?
mhm.
Right? Like, and if you don't say it up front and you keep calling them and then finally say it, it's like, shit, that's what you wanted to say the first time you called. Why didn't you say it? And then you seem dishonest. That's
But then
exactly my
I
point.
also but then I also have that same disposition when they're calling me and I know that we weren't like BFFs in school, but yeah, I know you. So all of a sudden you calling me like what you want? I mean, so it's almost like so by by me just talking it out, I kind of feel like that it's almost that I'm assuming that their disposition will be the same as mine
Let me ask you a
if that
question.
was me.
These same people that you're talking about, right? Let me ask you this. If you knew, if you had a guarantee, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you knew that if you called them, they were going to be like, yeah, send me the information. I want to get on. If you had a guarantee that that was their answer, would you be okay with calling them?
Yeah, of course, you would be okay.
So then, if you would be okay with calling them if you knew yes was a guarantee, then the
Mhm.
reason why you're hesitant is the fear of rejection.
Mhm.
There's only those two things, right?
Mhm.
And what we have to get away from is allowing our own fear that is in here, which isn't even real, but our fear of rejection to stop us from helping the people we claim. If what we're saying is we want to be able to help people, if you have, let me ask you this. Why would you reach out to them? Would you reach out to them just because you want $50? Because you want someone to partner with you so you can get $50? Or would you be reaching out to them because you think that you have something that is powerful that could help them and you're trying to help them?
It would be the latter.
Okay. I, I was hoping that was going to be the answer. All right. Because if all you're doing is reaching, if you're looking at everybody and they have a big dollar sign on their forehead, then I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what to do with. But if your thought is, I think that I have something that can help people, whether it's help them travel more, travel better, travel for less, whether it's supplement their income, whether it's help them get their first passport stamp, help them take their kids on their first flight, help them take their kids on their first cruise, whatever way it is that you think it might help them. If you're if the reason you're doing this is to help people, then we have to push that fear aside and not allow that to be greater than our desire to help people. Our fear of rejection can't be greater than our desire to help.
Understood. Now, mind you, initially it was the first one, but I've grown to do the latter.
Got it.
So there's just a bit of transparency there. Is that initially it was, okay, because I want to be able to get this, get this rank or whatever case may be, da 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 da. But then it changed after, like, you see how it affects other people when they actually do see the opportunity and understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it and then you see how excited that they are and how much they depend on you and you just genuinely want to help. So then like your your reasoning for doing it then changes. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just for status or money. It's actually to help people.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. When I got started, it wasn't about the money for me, but it was about me traveling. I had I wasn't thinking about helping nobody. I just wanted to travel. Didn't even want nobody to partner with me. I didn't want no team. Like I told them that. I told Greg Scott that. I told my girlfriend that. I was like, don't call me about no conference calls, no meetings, no nothing. I'm not doing none of that. I didn't want a team. I wasn't trying to grow. I didn't even believe in network marketing. I wanted to travel and I wanted to save money on my own travel. And if I was going to pay for some travel, I wanted a commission check. I didn't even want to book travel for nobody else. I was booking travel for me, myself, and I. That was it. And that was all I was ever going to do. So I understand about things changing, right?
Mhm.
Once I saw, and now, we have so many people on our team. I've seen people's lives change. I've seen people go from being in, a situation where they needed to move but couldn't afford to move, and then were able to get out of that, and
Mhm.
then go from an apartment to a house. I've seen people take their kids on their first vacations, or their parents, or their spouse, right? So in addition to me seeing people supplement their income and have money to be able to buy cars and buy, right, and do all these things. So I've seen all the experiences, and so that is what changed for me, right? So
Mhm.
because I see that, I think that is why it's so easy for me to reach out to someone. I
Mhm.
reach out to strangers. Janae can attest to that. I can be at a restaurant, I can be at a grocery store, I can be in an Uber. It doesn't matter, because I feel like I have the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm going to tell you about it. And it's entirely up to you if you do anything with it. I don't care. I promise you, I have no emotional attachment. I don't care. What you will not be able to do, though, is say that I didn't at least share it. You can't say nobody told you. Like there's so many times that people would be like, if only someone would show me how I could get ahead. Only someone would show me how I could, right? And a lot of times people will find things and they hold them secret. They find out about a good opportunity or a good sale or whatever it is. I know some folks that will get the hookup and not tell nobody about it, even though they could, right? And so my feeling is nobody's ever going to be able to say that about me. No, I shared it. Now,
Mhm.
you take advantage of it, that's entirely up to you. I don't care. I just want to know that I did my part. Because what will happen is those same people, you'll see them joining other people's teams. They'll find out about it and they'll join other people's teams. And then if they do see you in it, they'll wonder why you didn't tell them, why you didn't think enough of them to even mention it to them.
Okay, so before we get into this role play, because I know Janae is waiting on that part. Um,
Yeah, because we only
quick,
got 15 minutes left, ladies. Just saying.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, so I ran into a situation already where I haven't talked to somebody in a while. I reached out to her and just kind of like, basically caught up a little bit. And she asked me what was I doing nowadays. And I told her, of course, that I had moved, plus I have a travel business. And so I kind of like, snuck it in there a little bit.
Mm,
And then she was like, well, I thought about doing the travel business myself. And so she was like, well, being that I have a notary business, I can only do, or that I only want to focus on one thing at a time. So what do you do in that situation where when you know somebody, on top of that, I gave her an example of Kim. Kim does notary and
mm-hmm.
I gave her the example of that. I said, I got a business partner that does notary and travel. Like she doing all of it, and so
Mm-hmm.
she was just like, I just wanted to stick to my notary, because I only have time for one thing at a time. So I'm just like, if I give you an example that somebody else is doing it. And on top of that, I told her, well, I just do my part-time, because I'm still
Mhm.
full-time, and I just, dedicate 2 or 3 hours, a week or like a day or two, whatever the case may be, just kind of like giving her realistic, expectations of how that she could still um incorporate that into what she's already doing still. And
Mhm.
it was kind of like that. It's just kind of, so it's just like, all right. So
So,
that's what I'm saying is that like when you haven't talked to somebody in a while,
so my
like,
my my question to people is always, would you be open to taking a look? Always. Would you be open to taking a look? That's always my question. And it's either yes or no.
mhm,
Because I'm not, so one thing that I'm not going to do is explain it. I'm not going to say it in, like, even what you did, like with Kim, I would do that after they've seen something.
mhm,
And then I might even get them like in a chat or on the phone with Kim, because she's the expert of all that you just said, and let her share her after they've already seen something and are open to talking to somebody.
mhm,
But I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. I'm going to pique someone's interest. That's
mhm,
it. And once I pique their interest, then I'm showing them something immediately after.
mhm,
I don't do much, like, I don't explain what the travel business is. I don't give them a whole lot of information about it. I don't do any of that until they at least take the step to look at something. And here's the thing, that some people, I've said to some people before, are you open to taking a look? And they'll say, you know what, I have too much on my plate. And if somebody says something like that, I have too much on my plate right now, I'll say, I absolutely understand. How about if I followed up with you in a couple of months? And
mhm,
if they say, yeah, that'll work. So we're in October, right? So then I'm pinning you to a date. I'm gonna say, okay, where's October 2nd. How about if I call you December 2nd? So then when I call them December 2nd, because if they say, yeah, that works, nobody's surprised.
mhm,
Right? I ask you, was
mhm,
this the December? I'm always booking a meeting from a meeting. That way we're on the same page. I'm not left in that gray area where I'm wondering, it, did I give them enough time? Am I taking too long? I'm not in that gray area. I want to know, when should I call you
mhm.
back? And I'm going to give them a date and let them say yes. That way, when I call you, we both knew I was calling you today.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, it is. It's just, like I said, is that even though I've done some of these, even though that you do certain things so many times, you still kind of when you run into certain situations like this, you don't always necessarily have the answer. So it's just like, just a reminder of how to approach something,
Yeah.
so it's just a good reminder how to approach something. Okay. So are you still
But
calling
one of
me?
the things that
Okay.
I say to everyone, say less to more people,
Okay.
right? Say less. You let the video, let the webinar, like, let them do the heavy lifting. Because here's the other thing that I want all of you to know is, you're teaching someone, if they're going to join you, you're teaching them how to do this business from the time you first start talking to them.
Mm,
If you do a whole lot of talking, they're sitting there listening, you think you're impressing them, and they're sitting there thinking, I don't want to have to learn all that. I don't want to have to remember all that. I don't want to have to tell somebody all of that. I don't want to do all that talking. This is what the business is. I'm going to have to do that. That's what they're thinking.
mhm,
When you sit there and you do a whole lot of talking, that's why I don't do much. Even on social media, I'm not doing a whole lot of typing, telling them about the business. No, I let the video or the Zoom do that. Because then at the end, when, like, after they've watched it, and if they say something to me like, I don't know if I could do this, I'd like to be able to say, remember, all I did was,
mhm.
All
That's
I
good.
did was see if he asked you, and then they remember it, like they think back to it, right? And I'm like, remember, I asked you if you were open to checking out something, and you told me yes. I gave you a Zoom link, and you got on the Zoom. And they're like, oh, that is all you did.
Mhm.
You want to
That's a
be able
good.
to say, all I did was to your new person if they're trying to decide whether or not they can do it. And if what you did is not duplicatable, it's going to be challenge. They're going to feel like it's challenging for them.
Hmm. Okay. That was good. I'm glad you said that part because I didn't think about that.
They're
Okay.
looking like you're talking to them about a business, and everything that you do is showing them how this business goes.
Okay.
You want to make it. It's not easy, but it should be simple.
Got
You
it.
want them to see the simplicity of it.
Okay. Okay. So are you calling me
Ready to role
or
play?
am I calling you? Yeah.
Either one. No, I'm calling you. I'm calling you.
Yes, you're calling
So
me.
let's do both. Let me call you, and then just so you can kind of see it, and then we'll do it again, and you call me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Phone ring.
Hello?
Hey, Marquita.
Hi.
Hey, it's Lynn Hendricks. How are you?
Hey, Ben, how you doing?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. Listen, I do not have a lot of time to talk. I'm about to run into a meeting, and I know we haven't talked in a minute. I definitely want to catch up with you, but I just had to call you because I just launched a new business and I'm so excited about it. And I'm having a launch party on this Saturday at 10 a.m. It's on Zoom. Can I count on you to make it to my launch party?
Well, let me check my schedule and I may be able to go. So I can't say right now, but I might be able to come
Okay,
to
no,
it.
I understand. When should I reach back out to you to see whether or not you can make it? Because I don't want to waste your time. I want to send you the Zoom link if you think you'll be able to make it.
Okay. I would say, can you check back with me later on tonight about
Absolutely.
6?
Okay, I will give you a call at 6 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
All right, girl, I gotta run. Talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well done. Well done.
I'm gonna talk kind of fast because I told you I have to run.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
heard
want
that
you to
part.
start asking me a whole lot of questions.
Hmm.
Because the minute you answer one question, you got to answer the next one. You got to answer
Yeah.
the next one. You got to answer the next one. I tell you up front, I'm about to run into a meeting so that you don't start asking me a bunch of questions. Or if it's later in the evening, then I'm about to get on a Zoom, or I'm about to cook dinner, or I'm about to do something. There's some reason why I can't sit talking to you because I'm about to do something.
Mm. Okay.
But I'm talking in my regular voice. I'm not, I'm not going to stiffen up and, talk in this robotic voice. I just started this business, and I've heard people get real formal on people that are supposed to
I've
be their
done that.
friends.
I've done that. I've done that. Yeah, I've done that. They was
I
like, what's going on with you? I'm like, what?
don't
I've
do
done
that.
that.
I want you to talk to people the way you normally talk. I mean, I had somebody say that they wanted to share the business with their mom. They were like, how should I share this with my mom? I'm like, you want me to tell you how to talk to your mom? Like, that's your mom. What are we talking about here? But
Mm.
yes, you want to talk to people like the way you normally would talk. Don't stiffen up. Don't get all, uber professional and serious, and no. Because then
I've done
they're gonna
that.
be like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. I've done that and then I sometimes still find myself unconsciously doing that.
Yeah.
And so I recently had somebody tell me that like, look, we've been on each other for so how long? Like, why are you getting weird on me? So it's just kind of like you don't know that you're doing it until somebody tells you that you're doing it because you unconsciously do it. And I guess it's
Mm-hmm.
because and I guess it's because that like you're so focused on trying to get it right and not make a mistake that you sound so
And so
robotic
one of the
about it.
things that I started doing when I first started, just to be honest, I had what I wanted to say written out on a piece of paper. I didn't read it because I didn't want it to sound robotic, but I
Mhm.
also like I didn't want to like kind of forget. You know, sometimes like all of a sudden I'll whatever it was I wanted to say, it'll just like escape my mind. And I'll be like, oh my God, and I'm tongue tied, whatever. So I just needed to have a little short script there just so that I could see to make sure that I kind of stayed on course. But I wasn't sitting, you know, like reading it, but I had it in
Mhm.
front of me until I had done it enough times that I felt comfortable.
Okay. So now, before we get to the other one, now, do you suggest using if you do that, if you write it out, do you suggest using that for every phone call?
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's the same thing I said to each person.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. I have to try that.
And
That
and
might help.
I wanted to be like I could get like I told you I invited over 150 people, but it took me how long did it seem like that phone call we just had? How long did that take? 30 seconds maybe?
A few seconds,
45
yes.
seconds?
A few
You know
seconds,
what I'm
yes.
saying? Like a minute or less. So it shouldn't like if you're calling 20 or 30 people, like it shouldn't take you that long. I mean, we're talking, you know, you should be on the phone with that person like 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You call 30 people, you're on the phone, what, 15 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like in the grand scheme of things, and what you have to understand is sales is numbers. It's in the numbers. The more people you call, the more people will say yes. If you call 5 people, what's the likelihood 5 are going to say yes? You call 50 people though, right? I called over 150. Now, in order for me to get 33 people to show up at that event, I had to call over 150. But do you think it was worth it? Absolutely. That took me what? Maybe an hour and a half to call an hour and a half. And it wasn't just in one setting, right? Because I knew we were going up there. So over a course of a few days,
Mm-hmm.
I made the calls, but I was able to do that in what? Less than 2 hours. And I had 33 people show up at a game night. Orlando Moore, I had asked him to fly up to Boston because I wanted to make sure that I knew I could fill a room because I knew I would do the work, but I didn't know the person that was doing the meeting at the time. I didn't know her. I never heard her present. And I was like, I'm not trying to leave this to chance and just assume she's going to do a good job and I know I'm going to fill the room. So I asked him if he would come. So we're at the meeting and he comes up to me and he's like, hey, do you see any of your people here? I'm like, this whole room is my people.
Okay. All right. So ring ring. Ring ring. That phone go ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, Lynn. How you doing? This is Marquita.
How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. How are you doing tonight?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for asking.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, hey, I know I haven't talked to you in a long time. So I
I
wanted to,
know, girl. What's been going on?
girl, nothing much, but hey, I'm on my way to a meeting. I would love to catch up
Oh,
right
okay.
now, but I wanted to invite you out to my business lunch that I'm having tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Can I count on you to make it?
You started a business?
I did. I did.
Oh, wow. When did you start your business?
A couple of a couple months ago, but again, girl, I'm going to a meeting. I would love to tell you about it, but I have to get to this meeting. But I just want to call you because I thought about you, and I know that you like to, try new things. I've heard you in the past and that.
Yes.
So, but girl,
Okay.
look, I will catch up with you some other time. but look, I'm trying to invite you to this doggone meeting, girl. Can I count on you to be there?
When is it again?
It is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Is it online or is it in person?
It is on a Zoom. No cameras, girl, just an open mind.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes. Count me in.
Okay, girl. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Thanks for thinking of me.
Absolutely.
I
Bye.
love the fact that you said that was awesome. I love the fact that you said, and I thought of you. People love to be thought of. Like we sit and we look like we think of it like we're bothering people. And 9 times out of 10, the people are sitting there like, dang, she thought about me. I appreciate that. I love that. You did great. And I love the fact that you kept letting me know you had to go. Because if you say it a couple of times, like then, because initially people will try to, they'll be like, oh, girl, what kind of business is it? Or, you know what I'm saying? But if you really do have to go, then you saw that I was like, okay, I know you got to go. So when is it? Yeah, I can be there. So then here's what I would do. After the person says, yes, they can, then when you hang up, you immediately send them the link to the Zoom right then.
Mhm.
And then keep a sheet of paper with the people that say yes, they can make it, and the people that say no, that they can't.
Mhm.
You want to keep a list of it. The ones that said no, they can't make it, it doesn't mean they're not interested or they'll never look at something. It just means that maybe tomorrow at 8 o'clock doesn't work for them.
Mhm.
So you want to know, okay, these people, I'm going to need to expose them another time. My list of people that said yes, you want to keep that list because like 10, 15 minutes before or 20 minutes before, you want to remind them. Because while this is the most important thing going on for you right now, it's not the most important thing for them. And it has nothing to do with how much they care about you, want to support you. Most times, if it's not their own thing, they're not putting it in their calendar.
Mhm.
So you're going to have to remind them.
Marjorie, earlier you had your hand up.
Yeah, I don't remember what it.
Well, I'm sorry, baby.
That's okay.
Next time, write that down.
Yeah, I will.
I knew Janae was trying to get to this
I got caught
get
up
to
in the
the role play. I
conversation.
wanted to make sure we did it. Huh?
I got caught up in the conversation. That was real good. So thank you.
Any questions? Marquita, you weren't at the travel party, but I'm going to tell you, I told them this story. I'm going to tell you real quick. Now, of course, this is my brother and we are close, but when I first got started in the business, I wasn't planning to tell anybody, right? I told you that. I was just going to use the travel business for myself and to me and my husband, and I wasn't going to book nobody else's travel, and I wasn't going to grow a team. I didn't want nobody on no team. Fast forward, I ended up deciding to build and deciding, to tell people about it because it was so great. And so my brother and his wife, they travel all the time. So I gave him a call and he said, Tan and I, that's his wife, he goes, Tan and I started a travel business 2 years ago. He had never mentioned it to me.
Mhm.
I didn't even know. I was offended. I was mad. I was like, why wouldn't you have told me? It felt like what I just said when people will find out about the hookup, but not share the hookup. That's how it felt to
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
And I was like, why wouldn't you have told me? He was like, I mean, we're not building a business. We're just using the travel for ourselves. And I said, well, what if that's all I wanted to do? And I'm all indignant. And then I realized that's exactly what I had been planning to do to people when I got started. I wasn't planning to tell anybody either. And I realized how wrong that was when it was
Mhm.
done to me. That was part of also what helped me to then be feel okay with telling everybody.
Mm.
And if it's for you, great. And if it's not for you, great. I don't care either way. I just feel like I have something that might help. I'm going to share it. If you don't feel like it'll help you, what do I care? Because I'm not doing it for me. That's the reason why I asked you, are you doing it for the $50? See, if you're doing it for the $50, then yeah, you care. Because you're like, shit, you messing up my money. Right? If that's all you care, that's all you care about, you see everybody as a dollar bill, then you're like, you messing with my money. But if you're doing it because you want to help somebody, let me ask you this. If you had a friend and you found out that they were, kind of falling on some hard times, and you offered some money to them and they said, thank you, I appreciate it, but no thank you, are you offended? Are you upset about it? No, you don't care. You thought they might need help, you offered the help. If they take it, great. If they don't, you're okay with that too. That's how I see this.
Yeah.
Our job is just to offer the help. We're just the messengers. If people want the help, if they accept the help, if they need the help, all of that is entirely up to them. Our job is just to offer it to as many people as we can. Hey, Miss Dennett, my friend, how are you?
Hello, Miss Lynn. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
And I was excited that you were on. I'm here.
Any questions for me? Janae, I know I kept y'all on a long time and I don't even know if I did what you wanted me to do. No clue.
Listen, it helps somebody. I did put in there, I want to do just like a check on learning. The first person to come off the mic to tell me what the 333 method is correctly, then you will be getting a nice little treat on Lynn. Not just kidding. No, but you'll get like a Starbucks card. So who can say what the 333 method other than Director Lynn Hendricks and Director Danette Montague?
I'm not in it. Oh, okay.
Raise your hands on the the icon thing. The reaction. All right, Miss Marjorie.
I saw Marjorie taking notes. I know she knows.
Okay, so you said for 3 days, we are going to give them a little bit of love, give them hearts for 3 days. And then on the second day, we're going to give them we're going to make comments on their posts. And then the third day, we'll go into their DMs.
I wasn't completely right. You had some of it right.
Okay.
You're doing all of that, you're doing all 3 days. So day 1, you're commenting on their posts and you're liking and hearting their stories. On day 1, you're doing that. On day 2, you're also doing that. You're going to find, right? Especially if it's people that are pretty active on social media that are posting in their stories. Some people don't post in their stories, so there's nothing you can do about that. But if they do, then day 1, you're commenting and hearting their posts. You're commenting, hearting, in their stories. Day 2, you're doing the same exact thing. So basically, you're showing love on their page for 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
On day 3, you're also commenting on their posts, hearting their stories. And then you're ripping off the Band-Aid on day 3 and going into their inbox.
Got it.
So you're loving on them for 3 days. So you're building rapport. You're just not building rapport for months or weeks. You're going to do it for 3 days and then you're in their inbox.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Miss Lynn.
You're welcome.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Any questions? All hearts, minds are clear. All right. Go, Marquita, go. Woo! We got it.
Yes, Marquita, you have one more. Like, let's get her done. You got a whole phone full of people you haven't called.
Yeah, I'm texting people now. I was on the thing.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. Again, thank you, Director Lynn Hendricks. Truly, truly appreciate you. And everybody here for showing up for your success and taking out the time out of your busy schedule. We'll see you
I have a quick
next.
question. Can
Go
I
ahead.
ask? I know Marquita is one away from gold. Can I ask where everybody else is? I think
Yeah.
Jay just hit bronze, right? So
Yep.
she at 3 now.
Yep, she's at 3. Miss
Okay.
Beth just got her first one.
Oh,
And
congratulations. Okay. So you're
and
2 away
then
from bronze, Yvette, right? Is that what you said?
yep, 2 away from bronze. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
And then Marjorie is 1 away. I mean, yeah, 1 away from bronze.
Nice. Marjorie, let's get that done. Let's get her done.
Trying. I have
Ooh,
some.
don't say that word.
I know. Yeah, right.
Don't say trying.
They
I got
just
to
need
go.
to pull out their credit cards,
Voted
okay?
for that too.
I'm just gonna be real.
Try just means you're giving yourself permission to fail with honor.
Right.
Either you do or you don't do. There's no try.
I got
Janae,
scolded for saying that
Y'all
same
see where I
thing.
got it from, right? You see what I just tell you. Jenny, we didn't even practice it.
I think that I'm keeping my hopes up too high on the ones that made promises.
You know what I want you to do? This like real talk. I want you to follow up with people, but I don't even remember that they told me they were like, I have so many people in my pipeline. Like, that's how I want you to think. I have so many people in my pipeline. You're not remembering or counting on any one person to do anything. You're following up when you say you're going to follow up for sure. But you should have so many people in your pipeline that, like, and I'm getting back to that now, right? Like when I was really like recruiting heavy, I had so many conversations going, I would forget about people. I would forget somebody told me that they were going to get started on Friday. And then Friday they'd be in my inbox like, girl, I'm ready. I forgot about you. I talked to you 2 weeks ago. You know how many people I've talked to since I last talked to you? And yes, it's on my calendar. I'm supposed to follow up with you today because I booked a meeting from a meeting, right? But I didn't wake up thinking about you because I have so many people in my pipeline. I want you to have so many conversations going that you're not, you don't have your hopes up about anybody.
Okay.
And I want you to believe in people, but don't believe them. Right? I believe in people. I believe in their ability. I believe in their potential. I believe in their capability, but I don't believe them when they tell me anything.
Okay.
But people are like, I'm gonna be bronze
That's
in 2
noteworthy
days.
right there.
What'd you say?
I said that's noteworthy right there.
Well, people like, you know, people come in and they tell you all the stuff that they're gonna do. Like I used to say this to Arian Ragser all the time, because she would have people that would join her team and tell her all the stuff like they were gonna be rock stars, and she'd call me all excited because this person was about to be director in 9 days. And
Oh, gosh.
like I promise, like ask her. And I was never excited because I believe in them. I believe they have the capability. I believe they have the ability to do the work. I don't believe you when you tell me, because what I believe is what I see. I believe in the actions you show me. I don't believe in any of the stuff you tell me. I can't hear what you're saying because your actions speak so loud.
I like that.
Why does that sound like somebody that's on my team right now? Janae knew what I'm talking about.
I think
Oh,
we've all
yeah.
had a taste of
I
that.
already knew that part.
Right? So I don't want you to get caught up in any one person and getting your hopes up and
Yeah, I
nope.
think that that's because I've had 4 people, 5 people give me dates, and the dates come and go, and it changes to another date or whatever. And I
And
think
that's fine. Then continue to follow up. I'm not saying like forget them. If they've given you dates, life happens. Like life is lifing for people. So continue to follow up. And at some point, like there's so many people that have given me dates and those dates fell through. And then at some point, some of those folks, it was a year later.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't mean that they're not going to do it.
Okay.
I
How,
would continue to follow up with them. You know, if it's just that like money is an issue, then one of the things that you can do, like keep testimonies. Facts tell, but stories sell, right? Like find somebody who has a similar story to them. If it's a nurse or they're in the service or they are a school teacher or whatever it is, find somebody that has a similar position, or maybe they're a single mom with 3 kids or whatever that is. Find somebody who has a similar story and either get them on a 3-way with them or get them on a Zoom that that person will be, presenting on, talking about their story.
okay.
Get testimonies of people that have similar circumstances in front of them.
Okay.
And
Um,
then continue to, put follow-up dates on, but then they're on your list to follow up, but that has nothing to do with your everyday who are you prospecting.
mhm,
Your list should be so long because you should be prospecting every day, which has nothing to do with your follow-ups.
mhm. Okay.
Right? Like if you got 10 people on your follow-up list and you call those 10 people today, that has nothing to do with the new people you should be prospecting.
Okay. That's good. Now, let me ask you this. If, somebody says, give me a call in 2 weeks or whatever, how long do you keep, I'm not going to say badgering them, but
Until they pass away or tell me to don't ever freaking call them again.
so they say, I'm not going to have the money on the.
Until they pass away, until I hear that they've died. I'm not being funny. Until I hear that they've passed away, or they're like, don't you ever freaking call me again. That's how long I follow up.
Okay. Now, if they don't have the money on that date, so for example, I had one person who was supposed to sign up yesterday and she didn't have the money, and she said to me, okay, I just need more time to get the money. And I said, okay, well, give me a date and I'll give you a call back. She's like, well, I don't know what the date is. And I says, all right, well, do you need 2 or 3 days? I'll follow up with you in 2 to 3 days. Is that right? Or should I have given them more time or fewer time?
So it's up to you. Like, right, the two of you have to agree on when you should follow up. So that's why I like to book a meeting from, because if you just say, oh, okay, well, all right, I know you need some time. So, I'll just give you a call later. I'll give you a call some other time, and you don't set a date. And then you call in 3 days. And she's like, Jesus, I just told you I don't have the money, right? But if you had agreed on 3 days and you call in 3 days, then that makes sense, right? It just depends on, and each person might be different.
Okay.
But just keep like each time, like now, I don't want you to, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to every 3 days set a time for 3 days later. You know what I'm saying? That I wouldn't do. So if she feels like, and you can kind of get like, if she's like, I have no idea when I'll have it, then no, I probably wouldn't call her in 3 days. Because if she's like, I have no idea. If you're at a point where you have no idea, you're probably not going to have $200 in 3 days,
Okay.
right? If she's like, I think I might be able to have it by Friday, then 3 days might make sense, right? It just kind of depends on what that person's answer is. You want to make it make sense, and you don't want her to feel like you're badgering her. Because if she's in a position where she don't even have $200, that is a hard place to be. She's already dealing with her own stress and anxiety over whatever her finances are, right? So you don't want to add to that. So what I might do, like initially when I'm following up with someone, like it might be, it might be once a week for a few weeks. Then it might switch to 2 or 3 weeks. Then it might be like once a month. Then it might be every 4 months. I just keep following up.
Okay.
But that's why I said, like, those people, like, they're on my follow-up list. I'm still gonna do it. But here's the other thing. They should not only hear from you on your follow-up day.
Mhm.
Right? We're building relationships. So if she doesn't have the money, she shouldn't only hear from you to be like, all right, I'm calling you back. You got some money today? Girl, you got that $200 yet? That should not be, right? You should be calling, like, if you see something on her Facebook, like message her about, had something to do with maybe a post that she made or something. Conversations come before commissions.
Okay.
Build that rapport. If you start building rapport with her and she feels like, oh, she's not calling me or she's not reaching out to me to ask me, do I have $200? She reached out to me because she cares. She reached out to me because she saw that I posted that my cat died. She saw that I posted that my daughter had her first day of school. And you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. And you're commenting on the things that she's posting, things that are going on in her life that are important to her.
Okay, that's good.
You're reaching out to her just for nothing and be like, girl, you got any plans this weekend? What you doing for the weekend? Or you know what I'm saying? Like you got to build that rapport. So you're building that relationship. Arian, I was keeping in touch with her. Arian didn't have the money. After she told me she wanted to join the business, she didn't have the money. I stayed in touch with her. I was getting, like, we were talking almost every day. She was on the IMV long before she had the money, because I told her it was something that was motivational, educational, inspirational, not just for this business, but in life. And it might help her start her day off the right way.
Mhm.
So I had her listen to the IMV.
Mhm.
I don't wait for the person to get started to kind of indoctrinate them into the system. Like sometimes they'll start, like when she heard Janice Hayward, like they will listen to the IMV, they were like, I want more of this. I want more of this positivity, this motivation, this inspiration. A lot of people don't get that in their lives with the people that are in their circle. They were like, oh, that's what this is about? Oh, I want more of that.
Okay. That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Director.
You're welcome. Hey, Glow. Janae, are you in Costa Rica?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. We're doing I don't know if you're here this weekend. We're doing an end of the season pool party Saturday.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. No, I'll be back on a plane going to Costa Rica.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Glow will be here. You were supposed, that's what it is. You were supposed
Yeah.
to let me know. Okay, that's
Mhm.
right. I couldn't remember if I told you.
God forbid.
Any other questions from anybody? I hope this was helpful,
It was
you
very
guys.
helpful. Thank you so much, Director Lynn. It really was. Especially like with Marquita's question, because I get hooked up too, and I don't want to be having all these conversations. or like it's been primarily I'm calling people that I have not been speaking to for a long time. And then it's a 15-minute, half an hour conversation about what's been going on, how are the kids, and I'm doing this. And I'm like, and I'm on the other end going like this, trying to get
And
my
once you fall down that rabbit hole, then you try to figure out how do I climb out of here to talk about
Exactly.
this.
I'm literally like using my other phone to call this phone so I can say, oh, I gotta go. So
You need to get a chance to talk about your business because you on the phone for 30 minutes.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
oh my goodness. So that
Stop
was
it. Stop it.
I'm definitely gonna do what you said. I gotta go.
Good.
Go.
Good. Well, thank y'all for having me. It's been great. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Director Hendricks. Truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate. So those of you know, on Monday, you guys got the text message, execution phase. Make sure you have who you have in your pipeline, because we're going to be actively listening to what it is that you're doing. So if there's any adjustments and corrections we need to do, we can help make those adjustments and corrections. Because if you're consistently doing the work, but the numbers are not doing it, we just need to do our due diligence to make sure that you are doing and saying the right thing, because it's another party that's able to listen to you. So give you some constructive feedback. So come with an open mind, open heart, and your list.
I just saw that Marla said she's 4 from gold. I didn't see that before.
All right,
So
Marla.
wait, so does that mean that you're 1 from silver? That mean you're 5, Marla?
Uh-uh.
I'm here.
She said she's-
I'm here. My
So
I'm
are you at-
Yeah, because I was at silver and then I lost one. So now I got to pick up another one.
okay? So let's hit silver. So that's our first goal, is to get that 1 to get back to silver before we get to gold.
Okay.
When are we gonna do that? What's your date for that?
Next week.
Oh, that's not a day.
Uh-uh.
I mean, I've heard of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I don't know no day called next week.
Next Saturday.
Marla, did you just tell me what's today? Wednesday?
Today is
10
Wednesday.
days for one person?
No. Yeah, that is 10 days. Yes, that is what I said.
Wow.
Marla, we do not need 10 days.
Yes, ma'am.
So
By
what's that?
Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. Yes. I love when a good plan comes together.
Jay, so when's your silver? She put go, but since Lynn said you got to hit the next level first, so what's that date?
Oh yeah, she said I need that gold. Yes, we need silver. So what's your date for silver, Miss J?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Janae, I sent you my goals. My goals is more so for the month. I would say the month of October, because for the month of October, by the end of the month, by the last day of the month, I want to be gold.
Okay, perfect. So what's your date for silver?
In between.
Which means what? That's not a day. I'm telling you, if you don't set a day, you're just working. You're just working. And you have no sense of urgency, right? I'll give you another quick story. I like to give stories because it gives you some perspective, right? I know y'all like, she got so many doggone stories. So when I was going for 1 star, I went to the Tuesday night meeting and I was at 70 that day. And I had, prior to that day, I had told Donald Bradley that I was gonna hit 1 star director by December 31st, right? So I get to the meeting And he's like, where you at? And I said 70. And he said, and this is Tuesday. The 31st was Saturday. So he said that Saturday of that week. And he said, and what's your date for one, sir? And I said the 31st. He said, Saturday? I said, yeah. He goes, this? Because I needed 30 people. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, you know, I'm having a director dinner at my house on the 30th. You would have to hit on the 30th in order to come to my director dinner, which is Friday, and 99 won't do. I said, oh, then now my date is the 30th because I will be at your house on Friday. I had to push it up a day. If I hadn't had the date of Friday, would I have hit director anyway? Yes, eventually. I may not have done it by that Friday though. At 1:00 on Friday, I hit 1-star director. My team, not me, but my team, we added 30 people to our team in 3 days. Now, what I will say is, that's why I say to people, set a day. You have to have a specific day. Without a specific day, I wouldn't have had any sense of urgency. I would have no reason to have kicked it into a higher gear. There's always another gear. I would have had no reason to kick it into a higher gear though. The closer we got to Friday, the harder I worked, the more hours I put in, because I was not willing to change the date. I was not willing for it to not happen on that Friday. That was not an option. If I had to put 30 people in the system myself, it was not an option. But I say that to tell you, if you don't have a day, you're just working. And if it doesn't happen this day, maybe it'll happen tomorrow, or maybe it'll happen, right? You have no reason. You're just working. Each day just leads to the next. You've got to put dates to stuff. For every single goal I've had, when I said I was going to hit 2-star, on the day that I said I was going to hit 2-star, I hit it. When I said I was going to hit 3-star, we were at the director's, it was either 2-star or 3-star, I don't remember which, but one of the two. We were at the director's retreat in Vegas. Everybody else was having a great time in Vegas. I was in my room working. Why? Because that was my day. I didn't have a choice. That was my day. And the dinner was that night at 6:00, and I wanted it to be done by the time I got to the dinner. I didn't even call anybody and say anything. I walked into the dinner, it was done. But because I got to Vegas early that morning and I went straight to my room and I worked, because that was my day. So I say all that just to tell you, y'all, set goals and put dates to them. A goal without a date is just a wish. You're just out here swaying in the wind, hoping, wishing, praying something happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna say by the 13th, I'll be silver. And by
Thank
the
you. I love it.
31st, I'll be gold. Those are my goals.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
See, and now with a date, that's the other thing. You've said it publicly. People can hold you accountable. That's a lot of times why we are scared to say a date out loud, because it's like, shoot, I just said that. Now that means I got to do it. That was one of the things that I loved, because I would say my date and tell people. They were expecting it. That pushed me harder, because I didn't want to say the date and then change it up. Marquita, when did you say you were hitting gold? Did she tell us a date for gold?
My goal was October 1st.
Okay, so what's your date?
And now
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna by Friday.
Friday. Love it. Get her done. You got this. Y'all got it. Y'all know what to do. You got it. You have an amazing coach. I just want to say, like real talk. Like I wish that, and I had some decent coaches, don't get me wrong. But they were coaching the masses, right? I happened to get some, some good coaching because I was part of the masses, right? Like you all have somebody that takes the time out, like in the evenings on personal Zooms with just y'all. And that is freaking incredible. I can't say that enough. Like I love, love, love what Janae is doing, and what all of you guys are doing collectively, like as a unit. I absolutely love it. I'm so proud of you, Janae, and so proud of your team.
Thank you, Coach. Miss Marjorie, you had a question and a date for us too?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm going to be, well, you say go to the next level first. The next level of gold by October 8th. And then I want to push myself for silver by October 19th.
Wait, you said gold October
Bronze.
8th and silver October
Sorry,
19th?
bronze.
Oh, okay.
Bronze.
Wait, bronze for what day? October 8th, bronze.
8th, yes. And
Okay,
silver.
what's today? What's today? Hold on. Today's the
Now, I have a question with that too, because I don't know, I'm thinking with my mindset. I have two people that are active, that are paying, that I don't hear from, that don't call me back, but they're still
nothing you
paying.
can do about that. Nothing you can do about that.
Like they're still paying, they're not in charge off or anything. I reach out to them, they just, and that was my second question. I feel like one step forward, two steps back.
Well, what is the reason? Why did they get started?
One joined, both of them actually joined because they wanted to get commissions and book their own travels. One I
Okay.
spoke to 2 weeks ago, and I had one meeting with, and I said I would help her weekly. She wants to be able to help her church and booking travel and retreats. Oh, it's like they fell off the face of. Have not heard anything. So my question is, once
Well,
these
that was
people,
only it's only been 2 weeks. I mean, life is life and for people. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's been months. You say you talked to her 2 weeks ago. So
I had the
the only
conversation.
thing that huh?
I had the conversation 2 weeks ago. You said book a meeting from a meeting. She got my calendar link to schedule the next meeting, which was supposed to be for the following week, and I haven't heard anything.
So, and you've reached out to her, but she hasn't responded.
No.
I mean, the only thing that I would do, put her on your follow-up list and, just so that she knows that she's supported so that she can never say, oh, you didn't support me. Right. And, you can even, just reach out to her and say, hey, I was reaching out to you, not even talk about business. I just want to make sure that you're okay because I haven't heard from you. Because sometimes people feel this pressure, like, I need to be working. And when life is lifing, it's like, I got to handle this personal stuff. And you're calling me about business and I just can't deal. And they shut down. Right. And so it might be beneficial for you to reach out and let her know, hey, I just want to make sure you're good. I'm not even calling you about Planet Marketing or IntelliTravel. Girl, I just want to make sure you and your family are good because I haven't heard from you. Right? People need to know that you care and it's not just about this business.
Okay. I honestly feel that's where I fall short.
And here's the thing. Everybody purchased this business. When I purchased, I said to my girlfriend, I told her, don't call me about none. I'm not doing that. So don't call me about it. So when Greg Scott wanted to reach out to me, he called her and asked her for my number. And she said, no, leave her alone. Now, he didn't listen to her. He found me on Facebook and reached out to me anyway. But my point is, my girlfriend knew I didn't want to be bothered with the marketing side, with recruiting, I didn't want to do it. I think that a lot of times we get so caught up in wanting people to build, but everybody bought this business and they can do with it what they want. Right? Like that's how I feel when I go on vacation with people. Don't feel like we attached at the hip. If I want to sit in my cabin all day for 3 days straight, I paid for this cruise. Like, I don't have to come out and go on excursions with you. Like, I'm grown. It's mine. I paid my money. She bought the business. If you know you've done your part in supporting her, that's all you have to do. It's her business to do with it however she chooses. If she needs to put her business on hold, like that's the other thing. I think, like sometimes we're like push. You gotta. Sometimes people gotta take a break for whatever reason. Just let her know you support her, that you care and you're there for her.
Okay. Yeah, the other one, once every 2 months, I just send her a message and it's like no reply. But she's still active, so.
Let them know you care and you're there for them.
Okay.
It's not going to be everybody. You'll find that you'll find that out, like as you continue to grow. Like there's a reason that that IntelliTravel has 100 and however many thousand active agents, but then there's another number of people that actually book. Right? Like it's not going to be everybody. It's not going to be everybody for the entire company. It's not going to be everybody for any one team. It's not going to be everybody for any one person. Everybody, they start their business for different reasons. Sometimes that changes over time, but you're not 100% of your team is not going to be working. Ever.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, baby. Those are sad facts. It's unfortunate, but it's not going to happen. And as long as they're okay, you have to be okay.
Right. Sounds good. All right. Thank you. I just want to, I thought maybe, well, is it something that I'm doing or not doing? Because I don't want to get people in and then they leave in a short time, because of course, and I'm just going to say
that's going to happen too.
I want to build. I don't want to go up and down and up and down and up and down.
That's going to happen too. It's part of it's the industry. Like you're going to have some people quit on you. Quitters quit. That's what they do.
Right.
Nothing you can do about that. You're going to have some people quit. You're going to have some people get started and not do anything. You're going to have some people get started and then stop and then start and stop and start and start. You're going to have, it's going to run the gamut. You're going to have it all. And then you'll have some people that are going to actually work the business, but you're going to have all of it.
Okay. Thank you, Director Lynn.
No problem.
All righty, ladies, we got the good and OT, right? So y'all know your marching orders. We're going into the weekend, the 3-3-3. Do that as your homework. So come Monday, we can actually execute and get you to where your goals. Notice your goals within the week of executing. So now you have the strategy, you have the homework. Now we're going to execute to get you to your goals. Everybody's goals is within the time frame to be able to get it. So come Monday, we're executing with actually listening to you. Again, do what you do. having conversations so we can hear and we can critique and give proper feedback. All right. So congratulations again, showing up for your success. Thank you so much, Director Lynn, for pouring into us and giving us that extra overtime. So we're ready. And the 333 method, making it simple and just basically going from in our phones from A to Z, saying, hey, I know we ain't talked in a long time, but like Coach said, hey, I'm launching a business. Let's go and get that elephant out the room. That's why I'm contacting you. Period. Just be real,
Right.
like she said.
Can
Don't
I ask one quick thing? I'm so sorry before we jump
go ahead.
off. This conversation that we've been practicing, saying, hey, I know we ain't talking in a while. I'm launching my business. I really like to get you on. Can I count on you to get on this call? Are you directing them to the call that's on Thursday? Like, which call are you directing them to?
I'm directing them to whatever's coming up next. I want them on something immediately. So I'll get them, and then it also depends on who it is, right? Like, so I might get them on, our Thursday night call. It might be on Orlando's Freedom Friday. It might be on um Damian Goins Tuesday night. Like, it just depends on what's coming up. And based upon the person, um, which one I think they'd be best suited for.
Okay, now is it the new business opportunity call though? That one where they're explaining the full business?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then here's the other thing. If it's somebody that most people, I'm getting them either, like, if they were in my city and I go to the game night meeting, then I'll invite them to come to a meeting with me. If they're not in my city, then I'll invite them, to get on a webinar. And or if they're in my city, but maybe they work nights or something, and so there's no way they could get to, a game night. But if it's somebody that I feel like they don't have the focus or the attention span to watch a 30-minute webinar, I'm sending them the 10-minute video. There aren't very many people, but there are some people, like there's a few people that I felt like they're not going to sit and watch this Zoom. It's not going to happen. I have to send them the 10-minute video, the big picture video.
So then your conversation will be a little bit different. Like, hey, I'm having this launch. I'd love to get your feedback on my.
If I send you a quick video, can you watch it? Yep.
Okay. Because I've been doing
It's
a
the
video.
same.
I haven't been able to get too many people on the Zooms. But I've been sending the video, and that's, people been watching the video.
Okay. So it just depends. I feel like depending on who the presenters are, like, it just depends. Sometimes I think for certain people, the 10-minute video isn't going to be enough, right? They need more. Like, it's going to depend on the person, whether or not I feel like the video is going to be best for them or to watch the Zoom.
Got it.
Yep. And so more or less, like I know for those analytical people who are greens, I just don't send a 10-minute video to them because they are, you already kind of know what the greens. I'm the ones who be trying to ask you 1,000,001 question. You'd be like, I gotta go, but they want to know it all, the details. I gotta go.
That video is not gonna
you
do
ain't
it for
sending
them.
them no video because they're gonna be like another 100 million questions, which a 30-minute Zoom could have answered for them because it gives them an opportunity to listen to others people's questions that's on a Zoom as well. So, yeah. That was good. That was a great question. Great question. What do you shoot them to? So like on Monday when we're executing and we're listening to what it is that you guys are saying, or texting, however you doing it on Monday for your execution, then we'll be able to then see, okay, next, like Lynn said on Tuesday, Travel Talk Tuesday, that next day, then Winning Wednesday, then our Thursday team lunch, and then Freedom Friday, like clockwork. Knowing those things happen every day. Those opportunity Zooms happen every day. Normally 7 or 8, between the hours of 7 and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when they're happening. So it's like an open window. If you're not too sure about it, hey, are you available between 7 and 9 on Tuesday? Are you available between 7 and 9 on Wednesday or on Thursday? On Friday it's 9 o'clock. So Friday is 9 o'clock. So that's the only outlier, but mostly between 7 and 9. Just in case. All right. I look forward to Monday. I look forward to you guys telling me how the 333 land will be on too. So this would be a check on executing, she's giving you the gameplay right now for you to take, be able to ask questions, the extra point into you. So on Monday, we'll be here on standby. We'll be working too, as well, but to be able mostly to listen to what you're saying, but we'll be doing our work as well. So you will be able to hear Lynn, come up. She got a call or me have a call or whatever, a text message. We'll be sharing screen. So you can literally, it's really working. So you can see the whole process, like the objections, how to overcome the rejection, it's easier to see. As I say, it's better to show than tell. All right. Okay, everybody, have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.